Welcome back, students. Today is the third lecture of the same chapter, that is the plant life. In earlier videos, we have talked about the leaf. Okay, now today in this lecture, in this video, we will start with the flower. So let's start this thing. Okay, so start with the flower. First of all, what is a flower? Okay, what is a flower? We all have seen the flower. Okay, it's not a new thing, but biologically we are dealing now. Okay, so what is a flower? Flower is the reproductive structure of most plants. It develops from the floral bud and it is meant for the production of fruits and seeds. Okay, so what is a flower? Flower is a reproductive. If someone asks you what is a flower, then you must answer that flower is a reproductive structure of most plant. It develops from the floral bud and it is meant, the main function of the flower is the production of the fruits and seed. Okay, now we will start with the parts of a typical flower. As we have done in the leaf, parts of a typical leaf, in the same way we will do the parts of a typical flower. Okay, a flower has typically three parts. See a diagram also I have made for you. Okay, first see this thing. Flower, stalk or pedicel. Flower has mainly three parts: flower stalk or pedicel, receptacle or thalamus, and floral whorls. Okay, so there are three main parts of the flower: flower stalk or pedicel, receptacle or thalamus, and floral whorls. See in this diagram also I have made one diagram for you. Okay, pedicel or flower stalk, then receptacle or thalamus, and floral whorls. Okay, it will be better for you if you see a live flower. See, I have bought one flower for you. Okay, so you can also this thing, bring one flower whenever you are studying this chapter. Okay, so see, first part, flower stalk or pedicel. This is the flower stalk or pedicel. This thing, this is the flower stalk or flower pedicel. Earlier in the leaf, we have done leaf stalk or pedicel, petiole, leaf stalk or petiole. In the flower, this stalk is called as the pedicel. Okay. Then receptacle or thalamus. This swollen portion is called as the thalamus. Okay. We will talk about in detail of everything. Okay, and then the floral whorls. See this one, red color, then this green color, and this is coming out. All these are the floral whorls. Okay, so now we will do one by one. Okay, one by one in detail. We will start. Okay, first of all we will talk about the flower stalk or pedicel. Okay, we will start with the flower stalk or the pedicel. Okay, flower stalk or pedicel, with which, what is a flower stalk or the pedicel? The stalk of the flower with which it is attached to the plant is called pedicel. If, again, the same thing which we have done in the leaf, if the stalk is present or the pedicel is present, then the flower is called as a pedicellate flower. If the flower is without stalk or pedicel, then it is called as sessile flower. Okay. Flower stalk or pedicel. What is flower stalk or pedicel? The stalk of the flower with which it is attached to the plant is called as pedicel. If the flower is having pedicel, then it is called as pedicellate flower. If the flower is without stalk or pedicel, then it is called as sessile flowers. Okay. Now next one is the next part of the flower is a receptacle or thalamus. Receptacle or thalamus. See this one, the swollen portion is called as thalamus or the receptacle. The upper expanded tip of the pedicel is called as the thalamus. And all the four floral whorls are attached to the thalamus. Okay. This upper expanded tip of the pedicel, the upper expanded tip of the pedicel is called as thalamus or receptacle. And all the four floral whorls are born on the receptacle or the thalamus. So this one is a pedicel and this one is the receptacle or thalamus. Okay. Now next one is the floral whorls. Okay. Now we will start with the floral whorls. The flower has four sets of whorls or parts arranged in ring. Four sets. There are four sets of whorls or parts arranged in rings. See this one. Now see this one. First one is the calyx. See this green portion. See this green portion. This one, this green portion. Okay, this one, this green portion. This is the calyx. This is the first. This is the outermost one. Then this brightly colored petals or corolla. Okay. Then this coming out. Then this coming out from this thing. See this one, this coming out. Over here you can see minute this yellow color things. These are the androecium. Okay, androecium. And this one is this tube one is called as the gynoecium. Okay, so first of all, we will deal one by one. Okay, in this diagram also you can see this diagram. Okay, four floral whorls are this one is a sepal, green color one is the sepal. Then the brightly colored petals, they are called as corolla. Okay, petals or corolla. And then male reproductive part or androecium, and the female reproductive part is called as the gynoecium. So one by one we will start with the floral whorls. Okay, first of all we will start with the calyx. What is calyx? First you see this one, this green color. Okay, is it clear to you? This green color, this one, this is the calyx. Okay, in this flower also, see this one, this green color one is the calyx. Okay, so what is calyx? Calyx is an outermost whorl of the flower, okay, or part which is arranged in a ring. This is arranged in a ring. Okay, calyx is mostly green. It consists of sepal. Okay, so this individual one is called as the sepals. Individual one is called as the sepal. See this one, this whole ring is called as calyx, and that individual one is called as the sepal. See this one. Okay. See this one. See this one. Okay. Okay. This one. Okay. See this one. Individual ones are called as a sepal, and this whole present in the form of ring is called as calyx. So this one is an outermost whorl of the flower. It consists of sepals. It is mostly green in color. And the main function of the calyx is it protects the inner parts of the flower in the bud stage. When the flower is in the bud stage, this calyx, this sepals, they are protecting the parts of the flower. Okay. Now next one is a corolla. Corolla is the second whorl from outside. It is the second whorl from the outside. and it consists of petals. See this one, this one. This is your one petal. See, this is your one petal. See, this is the petal. Okay. Okay, see this one. Okay, so these are the brightly colored one, and it consists of petals. Okay, corolla, mostly brightly in color, and it helps to, what is the main function of this corolla? It helps to attract insect for the pollination. The main function of the corolla is to attract the insects for the pollination. So I think these two parts must be clear to you. Calyx, it's an outermost wall of the flower. Corolla, it's a second wall from outside. It consists of sepals, it consists of petals. It is mostly green in color, it is mostly brightly colored. Function of the calyx is to protect the inner parts of the flower in the bud stage, and the function of the corolla is to helps to attract insect for pollination. Okay. Now next floral wall is your, or floral part is your androecium and the gynoecium. Okay, okay. Androecium. Okay, this one. See this one. First see this thing. This coming out. Okay. And you can see yellow, yellow, small yellow, yellow one. Okay. Small yellow, yellow, tiny. Okay. Rounded structure you can see. This is the androecium. It is a third wall of the flower, and it is also called as the male reproductive wall of the flower. It's a male reproductive wall of the flower. It consists of stamens. Okay, it consists of stamens, and stamen is divided into two parts. Okay, each stamen has a long filament. Each stamen has a long filament and a sac-like or a bulb-like structure called as anther. Anther contains the pollens. Inside this sac-like or a bulb-like structure, what is there? Pollen grains are present. Pollens or pollen grains are present inside the anther. Okay? See this one. Okay? I'm taking out one, this thing stamen for you. Okay? If you can see this one. See this one. I've taken out two anthers for you. Okay. See, you can see it's a very tiny structure. Microscopic one. Very tiny, very small. See this one. A long filament. Okay. And a bulb-like structure, sac-like structure, yellow one in front. This is the anther. This is the filament. The small rounded is the anther, and this long tube-like structure is the filament. And in this round structure, pollen grains are present. Okay, now comes the gynoecium. Now is the gynoecium or the female reproductive part of the flower. Gynoecium or the female reproductive part of the flower. It is the innermost wall of the flower. See, this is the innermost wall of the flower. This is the innermost wall of the flower. Okay. See this one. Okay. It consists of carpels. See this thing. It is divided into three parts: stigma, style, and ovary. Okay. I'll do it once again. Gynoecium. Gynoecium is the innermost wall of the flower. It is a female part, or we can call it as a female reproductive wall of the flower, and it consists of carpels. Okay, carpels fuse together to form the pistil or the gynoecium. Each gynoecium has three parts: stigma, style, and ovary. Stigma, style, and ovary. And inside this ovary, what are present? Ovules are present. Inside the ovary, ovules are present. Okay, you can see this one. See this one. This is the style. Okay, this is the style. See this white color tube coming out? This is the style. Okay, this one is the style. Okay, and this swollen basal portion is the ovary. This swollen basal portion is the ovary. This long tube is the style. This long tube is the style. The swollen basal portion is the ovary, and inside this ovary, what is present? Ovules are present. And where is the stigma? Stigma is over here. See this one? This red colored one, red knob-like structure. This is the stigma. Okay, red knob-like structure. See this one? Red knob-like structure, stigma. This long tube-like structure, white one, is the style, and the swollen basal portion is the ovary. Okay. Now, okay, one very important thing you all must know, that this thing see, this flower is, I forgot to tell you, this flower is the hibiscus flower. Okay, this is the hibiscus flower. Botanical term of this flower is the hibiscus, and commonly we call it as a gudhal. In Hindi we call it as a gudhal, and the common name of this hibiscus flower is also the shoe flower. See one very remarkable thing in this flower. See this one, what is coming out? See one, this thing, 2, 3, okay, 4 and 5. There are some extra second wall of sepals is present below the calyx. It is known as epicalyx. Sometimes in some flower there is one extra set of whorls is present. Extra whorl of sepals are present, and this is called as epicalyx. If you can observe this flower, but don't pluck it from your garden. If you can arrange it from somewhere, okay, but don't pluck the flower. Okay, so this one, see this thing, an extra whorl of sepal is present. Extra whorl of sepal is present. This extra whorl of sepal is called as epicalyx, which is present in the hibiscus flower. This is a very unique feature of the hibiscus flower. Okay, one thing you all must know, that there are two types of whorls. Okay, one is called as essential whorls, and the other one is called as the non-essential whorls. Androecium and gynoecium. Androecium means a male reproductive plant, anther and filament, and female reproductive part, gynoecium, or the female reproductive part, that is the pistil, stigma, style and ovary. Androecium and gynoecium, they are called as the essential whorls of the flower. Essential whorls of the flower. This one and these two are called as the essential whorls of the flower. As why they are called as essential whorls of the flower? Because they directly take part in the reproduction. While this thing, sepal and petals, they are called as the non-essential or helping whorls of the flower. Why they are called as a non-essential or helping whorls? As they do not take part directly, as they do not directly take part in the reproduction. They only assist or help in the reproduction. While androecium and gynoecium, means stamen and pistil, they are called as the essential whorl because they take part directly in the reproduction. While sepals and petals, calyx and corolla, they are the non-essential whorls of the flower, as they do not take part directly in the reproduction. Okay, now this thing, depending upon the depending upon the depending upon the presence of male and female reproductive flowers are grouped into two types. Okay, now we will study the classification of the flowers, the grouping, how the flowers are grouped. Okay, so depending upon the presence or absence of the male and female reproductive parts, flowers are grouped into two types. One is a bisexual flower and the other one is a unisexual flower. If the flower is having both stamens and carpels, it is called as a bisexual flower. It is also called as a hermaphrodite flower. Very, very good example of this is the hibiscus. We have just seen this one. Female reproductive part, androecium and gynoecium, both female reproductive part and the male reproductive part. Both the parts were present in this flower. Okay, so it is called as a bisexual flower. It is also called as a hermaphrodite flower. Unisexual flower, which has either the stamen or the carpel. If that means it will have only one type, that is either the flower is having the male reproductive part or the flower is having the female reproductive part. Either the flower is having androecium or the flower is having the gynoecium. If the flower is the male flower, if it is having the androecium, then it is called as a male flower. Only stamens will be present. And if it is a female flower, that means if it is having only the gynoecium or only the carpels are present, then it is called as the female flower. Okay, so depending upon the presence of male and female reproductive parts, flowers are grouped into two types: bisexual flower or hermaphrodite flower, unisexual flower. Bisexual flower or hermaphrodite flower, in which both the stamens and carpels are present, both male and reproductive parts are present, both androecium and gynoecium is present. Example is the hibiscus. And unisexual flower, it will have either the male flower in which only stamens will be present, or it will have the female flower in which only the carpels will be present. Okay, then second category is the depending upon the presence or absence of the different whorls. Okay, different parts or different whorls, flowers are grouped into two types: complete flower and the incomplete flower. A flower is said to be complete when it has all the four floral whorls. See, just like the hibiscus, all the four floral whorls are there: pedicel, thalamus, sepals, petals, yellow one that is stamens, and this one pistil. All four parts are present. Okay, then it is called as a complete flower. Best example of the complete flower is the hibiscus. Okay, then incomplete flower. A flower is said to be incomplete when any one of the floral whorls is missing. If any one floral whorl is missing, okay, any one is missing, then it is called as incomplete flower. So best example of this is the papaya. Okay, so types of flowers, there are two main broad categories. One category is on the presence or absence of the different parts of the flower, in which complete flower and incomplete flower. Complete flower in which all the four floral whorls, sepals, petals and stamens and carpel, all four things are present. And incomplete flower, if any one thing is missing, if either sepal is missing, petal is missing, androecium is missing, or the gynoecium is missing, any one thing is missing. And second category is the depending upon the presence and absence of the male and female part, in which bisexual flower and the unisexual flower. Bisexual flower in which both stamen and carpels are present. Best example is a hibiscus. And unisexual flower in which either the stamen or the carpels are present. If only stamen is present, then the flower will be male flower. If only carpels is present, then it is called as female flower. Okay, then last part of this video, this lecture, is the functions of flower. Now you can also summarize or revise along with me what is the function of a flower. Its main function is to produce seeds and fruits for the plant. The main function of the flower is the production of the seeds and fruit. How they are producing the seeds, how it is getting converted into fruit, this we will do in the upcoming videos. Okay, so and the second very important function of the flower is that the bright color and the sweet scent or nectar of the flower helps to attract insects that transfer the pollen grains to the stigma of the flower. I think you all must be knowing this process in which the pollen grains are getting transferred from one flower to another flower. Yes, you are very correct. This is the pollination process. This I think you must have studied in the class 5th, and this topic pollination will be our next topic in the next video. Okay, so till then you all must revise this lecture, this one,